Alright, Jake, I'm filming.
So guys, I'm in the hospital. I had an accident. I'm still gonna be able to fight August 6th, so get your tickets at msg.com before they sell out.
Going to be Jake Paul's situation where he eventually takes on boxing legend Mike Tyson on November 15th. Now there's still ample time for this epic showdown to take place, but it seems like the YouTuber turned boxer is crumbling under pressure, especially considering that he's fighting a legend of the sport led by millions of boxing enthusiasts. Worldwide, Paul has also fought in 1A couple of fights before the highly anticipated bout, giving him able experience. However, that hasn't stopped the boxing world from predicting the upcoming fight in Mike Tyson's favor. Jake Paul understands the fight in Mike Tyson. Even at 58 years old, ain't no joke. He may have all the required experience to beat the boxing legend, but Iron Mike is way more experienced than he is. Now, Jake Paul recently mentioned that he was scared of fighting a boxing legend, and then he knows what he's getting into by accepting this fight.
Jake, obviously, Mike is one of the biggest hitters that the heavyweight division has ever seen. I just want to know, when you're thinking about his power, he looks very ferocious on Instagram, especially still. Do you feel like you'll be able to take Mike Tyson's power at this stage?
I know I will be able to. I'm a natural born heavyweight. This is what I was born to do, is to move up into this weight class, and I'm going to show Mike who has the more power, because he's underestimating me. I think everyone else is underestimating me, and I believe that I hit harder. I know it's going to be tough. I know I'm going to have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas. I'm scared, don't get me wrong, but it's not about the fear stopping me. It's about going into it even though I am scared, and that's what true bravery is.
Mike, can he take the power, Mike?
Excuse me?
Can Jake take your power?
We're gonna see, huh?
Iron Mike also seems confident about defeating Paul, who's nearly 3 decades younger than him now. He's oozed confidence in his latest press conferences before the fight. Iron Mike hasn't hesitated and taken jabs at Paul, calling him fat and overweight. He also didn't hesitate to mock his previous fights, where he failed to knock out other boxers and MMA.
I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky. I saw him with his shirt off the other day. He's fat. I thought, did you start training already?
Buster Douglas was fat, am I right?
I know, but you're no Buster Douglas. He's not gonna win. Look at, he can't even knock out Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz is 40 pounds. How he gonna knock me out? What's the other guy? Anderson Silva. He didn't knock those little guys. How he gonna knock me out? Who did he knock out? Who did he knock out? Little children. He didn't knock out, never knocked out a real man. Come on. I can't even get mad at this guy, because everybody know this guy's talking out of his ass. Stealing money. I'm up here just stealing money fighting him. Well, just come to the fight and you'll see. Listen, I started Jake off and I'm gonna finish him.
Jake Paul may have taken the shortcut by fighting MMA fighters and boxers who are way past their prime, but there ain't no denying that the former Disney boy is ambitious, and he's going to go to any lengths to be the next boxing legend after his defeat of Mike Perry. Paul boldly called out Alex Pereira, the current UFC light heavyweight champion. I mean, the guy does deserve some credit for wanting to fight all the legends in the combat sports world.
Alex Pereira, you said you want to box. I'm the king of this. I'm the king of this. Come over, we can make it happen. I want you, Alex Pereira. I just beat a BKFC champion. I beat multiple UFC champions, and he said he wants to box. So Alex Pereira, after Mike Tyson, let's make it happen.
With that bold call out of Pereira, Paul has made it clear that he wants all the smoke. Now, the dude ain't bothered about what the critics got to say. During the latest press conference after the Mike Perry fight, Paul shed more light on his plans for his boxing future. Now, he also talked about why he wants to take on.
And I said, yo, can you get out of your contract? If he can get out of his contract, then let's run it. And so when I asked him that, he had a pause. He looked at his manager. You know, these guys aren't their own bosses. So I want all the smoke, but at the end of the day, will Dana let him out? That's too big of a risk if I could embarrass his #1 praised fighter right now. But I want all the smoke. I want all the MMA guys, and I've beaten all of them. Who's next? He's the king right now of the UFC, so I want him. I'm gonna decapitate him and dethrone him.
And just to be clear, right, it was Anthony Joshua that said Pereira should enter the boxing ring. Pereira said, I'm honored, I would love to, who should I fight? Right, and when Jake saw that, he said, hey, you should fight me. And we said, well, he signed to the UFC. And that was the basis of that discussion.
Speaking of the bout with Tyson in November, Paul expressed his confidence and stated
he's a legend, but considering what you did tonight, should a 53-year-old really be getting in the ring with you, do you think?
Yeah, if Tyson wants to get in the ring, I'm down, and he does. So here we are. He's one of the baddest men on the planet, and you know, if he wants that opportunity and that smoke, he's the one who is like, let's make this a pro fight. I'm gonna end you, and I'm ready for it, and I'm excited for it, and he's a beast.
It's
very
amazing.
dangerous.
It's amazing. No matter what would have happened here, somebody would have asked the question of, should this fight really happen? Jake would have gone to a decision. They would have said, should this fight happen? Can he really beat Mike Tyson? If Jake would have lost, they would have said, thank God he's not fighting Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson would have killed him. He beat Mike Perry, who was an extremely tough man. He's not as tough as Mike Tyson, and he's certainly not as skilled as Mike Tyson in the boxing ring. No, he's not.
Yeah, you don't even know.
No, he's not.
You don't even know his age,
Next
to be honest.
question.
Paul also shared a roadmap for his career. Now a problem child hopes to become a cruiserweight in the future and shares the different types of bouts that he's been fighting in recent years.
Be the cruiserweight champion in 2 to 2.5 years. How would fighting a guy like Conor, who came after you, McGregor, who came after you tonight after the fight, or Alex Pereira help you achieve that goal?
Yeah, man, anytime I can get into a camp for a big fight and perform under the bright lights to prepare me for tough moments, I'm going to take it. So, you know, there's money fights, there's big fights, there's experience fights. I think tonight was an experience fight. November is a massive fight, and I mean, it's experience going up to heavyweight and being in there with someone who's been doing something, boxing their whole life. So everything is just on the path to being a cruiserweight champion, and if I can go in there with champions of different leagues, those are the best of the best in the world, and they're going to bring the best out of me.
You've seen what he's done to experienced boxers that have a similar record to him, right? So these moments, I think, help prepare him for those more experienced boxers. You saw Chavez Jr. tonight. He looked pretty good, but he was fighting a guy who was 1-0 in boxing, right? His 1-0 is against an NFL player. And yet that MMA guy was able to hang in there with someone who has 60+ fights. So it's not easy what he does to these MMA fighters in any way.
He also shared his thoughts on fighting the rematch against Nate Diaz, and MMA. He also opened up about his team making an offer for Diaz for the rematch.
We know that you beat him in the past when you guys had your boxing fight. How do you feel him calling you out again and saying that he's gonna, you know, kick your ass?
He wants payday. Payday.
I know that.
No, but I want to do it in MMA. And he don't want, there's too much to risk for him. I don't think he thinks he could actually beat me in MMA. We made the offer and he hasn't accepted it. So Nate Diaz, if you want the rematch, we're doing it in MMA.
Is there anything special that caught your eye from that fight with Masvidal? Did you watch it?
Is there
anything new special?
No. Just a zombie. So Mike Perry, Nate Diaz, zombie. They're gonna be in the zombie apocalypse one day, eating people.
Last one, go ahead.
Thank you, Jake.
Can probably guess by now that Jake Paul is serious about his boxing career and ain't got no plans of quitting it in a podcast. With brother Logan, Jake once again shared his views on fighting MMA fighters. He also went on and joked about the threats made by Conor McGregor.
Find the rhythm of and to pick apart. Well, there's one fighter who's trying to pick you apart for everything you do, and he does MMA. Conor McGregor. Chirping yet again. First thing he does, by the way, he's your biggest fan. He was watching that fight live.
I know. He was. Come on, bro.
First thing
all
he does,
the fights.
hops right to X.
All the fights.
You know he got
hey,
whiskey.
Thank you for the $65.
What?
Thank you for the $65 buying the pay-per-view. Respect.
Dude, your pay-per-views are $65 now?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. Oh, that's so cool, man. But yeah, he went right to Twitter, fired Mike Perry from the bare knuckle championship, which is such a cat move. Like talk about not being a ride or die. I feel so bad for kick a man while he's down.
Well, he goes from look at what Mike Perry's doing. Like, he's the BKFC put him in these fucking positions, doing so good. he's gonna fuck up that little dweeb to you're fired. Like, bro, choose a side. Choose a side. He's very fickle. I guess
Common Conor McGregor L.
Yeah.
I like him.
He's
He's
a walking
entertaining.
L.
But he's an L, but his bank account does slap. That's where he's a W.
Why doesn't he just get in the ring with you?
But that's what I was saying is he's on Twitter, he's on his yacht, he's on, but he's not in the ring with me. And so until he does that, I don't want to hear any more shit.
Wait, what was what's the injury again? He broke a toe.
He broke his.
It's always
toe,
Such
bro.
a ridiculous.
He broke his toe.
Dude.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Okay,
Probably
buddy.
stumped it on a coffee table.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, he's a broken man, but he's entertaining, and that's why I still like Conor McGregor. But
No, he's the most entertaining.
Well, yeah,
no,
but
he's the most entertaining.
And so is Ryan Garcia, but they're both crashed out.
Come on, there's a big difference.
I don't know. It's pretty similar.
Connor's
It's like
Connor's
manic behavior.
Connor's a real showman. Ryan's just was at Bohemian Grove once. There's a huge difference.